could have made a video about this right away. We knew what was going to happen. The writing was on the wall. And Kyler Murray is he's probably my favorite player ever. I'm saying like Randy Moss was probably my favorite. Well, he was my favorite player like growing up. He's still my favorite player all time. Kyler Murray, like I remember when we were in high school, he was in high school at the same time as us, and he won like the Gatorade Player of the Year and was like at the ESPYs. Like I remember like when he was playing high school football in Texas, watching his highlights when I was in high school, being like, this dude's the truth. He was undefeated in Texas high school football. Then
gets drafted.
He goes to college. Like he goes to college at Oklahoma. He wins a Heisman. He's a dog at Oklahoma. Or he went to Texas Tech at first, right? And then transferred to Oklahoma and was a dog. He gets drafted first overall by the Arizona Cardinals. I have a friend that then goes and works for the Arizona Cardinals, and I just like love.
He was at A&M first. Sorry.
You're good. I just like love Kyler Murray. He gets drafted. Doesn't he get drafted first round in the MLB draft too? Like he's just like the idea of Kyler Murray is just like incredible. Like one of the best athletes I think we've ever seen of our time, and his playing career.
He's the 9th overall pick in the 2020 or the 2018 MLB draft.
Insane. Imagine being a first round pick in 2 sports. Like
Correct.
That's
Bo Jackson.
It's really like unheard of, like insane. And just the idea of Kyler Murray is crazy. As of now, up to this point, his playing career in the NFL hasn't matched up to the hype of who he was as an athlete coming up. And I think that's a lot of things. The NFL is really hard. We've watched Sam Darnold bump around forever, and then go and win a Super Bowl when he turns 29 years old. You never really know what's possible in the NFL. And like I said, we could have talked about this earlier. I wanted to like marinate for a little bit. Kyler Murray signs a 1-year deal for $1 million. The Arizona Cardinals are paying him the rest of the money to go to a team last year that won 9 games with maybe one of the worst quarterback situations that I remember in recent memory, where JJ McCarthy stinks. Carson Wentz is coming in. Max Brosmer's starting games for them. It's just like an absolute train wreck. And to think like 12 months earlier, they won 14 games with Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold goes to fucking Seattle and wins a Super Bowl the next season after he just gets done winning 14 games with Minnesota. And it's like, wow, Minnesota's in a tough spot. Now, they seem to have cut ties. We get to a point where they go and they sign Kyler Murray. That's going to be their guy going into the season. And every single person has stamped this as like, this is the Sam Darnold situation all over again. He's going to go to a team with a safe floor, and he's going to probably deliver them. I will say automatic first gut reaction is like, they won 9 games last season with one of the worst situations of all time.
Yeah.
Can Kyler Murray get them to double-digit wins? I think undoubtedly, the answer to that is yes, no matter what division they're in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think that that carousel of quarterbacks and kind of not really knowing what you're going to get week in and week out from any of those guys puts that coaching staff and puts the defense in a really tough spot, puts Justin Jefferson in a tough spot, puts the rest of the offense in a tough spot where it's like, yeah, we saw some things out of JJ McCarthy, but not nearly enough. And the Vikings clearly thought the same thing. Otherwise, they would have handed him the keys heading into this season. So the thought process from Minnesota is like, all right, we're going to give this kid another year to develop. We're going to bring in I feel like it's safe to call Kyler like a veteran at this point.
Yeah.
And say, we're going to bring in a veteran guy, and he's going to be the bridge quarterback for this year. JJ McCarthy, you're going to sit behind him, and maybe next year will be your year. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with him, because that could have just been a wasted pick. But I think Kyler will bring, as long as he stays healthy, which I think I feel a lot better about with the coaching and the offense around him. I think he brings you a pretty safe floor and can maneuver an offense a lot better than what they were getting at out of those guys last year.
Yeah, I think there's two things that enter my mind automatically with what scares me about this possible scenario with the Kyler Murray and the Vikings thing, because I think it's really easy to sit here and be like, yeah, this team's going to be a playoff team. And honestly, undoubtedly, if they're not a playoff team and win a playoff game and or take a team to the brink in a playoff game, I think it's a failure. I think it's a failure, and I think it's not good for Kyler's outlook and his future moving forward. The two things that scare me the most are, one, you said it already, health. He's played his first two seasons, he played 16 games, and he played 14, he played 11, he tore his ACL, he played 8, he played all 17 in 2024 when things are really looking up, and then he played 5 in 2025, and ultimately he had a foot sprain, he missed like 3 games, and then they benched him for the rest of the season, so he probably would have played more than that, but still that foot sprain set him back and put him out for the season. And it's been those little, outside of the ACL, the 14 games, the 11 games, those 2 seasons were 2 seasons that, like, they started off hot and they looked really good. He gets a nagging banged up injury where the idea within the building and the media is that Kyler's not a tough player and doesn't play through injury. And if he's not 100% healthy, then he's not going to go out there and risk it. And I kind of think the same thing here is, like, if he gets one of those banged up nagging injuries, he's on a 1-year deal, on a prove it deal to try to make it happen. If he starts off the season scorching hot and sprains his ankle, he's going to be like, I'm sitting out. Like, and I don't know. I don't know that to be true, but that just seems to have been the pattern that we've seen over time, where he's not willing to play through tough injuries. That's all there is to it. Number 2,
has he been in a scenario like this though, where it's like, hey, my career is on the line right now, I need to play?
I mean, I think that, like, if you were to look at me and say in the 2021 season when they started off the season 10-1, and Kyler Murray was firmly in the MVP discussions and he twists his ankle, and during that time there was a lot of question marks of being like, Kyler should be playing through this injury and he's not. Like, everybody's banged up, everybody's hurt. Kyler should be playing and he's not playing. So I think yes, because there's been times where he's been playing at the peaks of his powers, and there's been this narrative about him that he won't play through tough injuries. And I'm just saying what the media says. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I'm just saying what I'm hearing. 2, this offense that Kevin O'Connell runs is a lot of under center, a lot of play action, a lot of across the middle, a lot of the middle of the field. That is not the offense that Kyler Murray has ran ever in his professional career, and it's not something that he does very well in the pros. So that's another thing. And really what it comes down to is, as well, is when we watch Kyler play his best, and I think there's statistical seasons where he has played better, but when he played the quarterback position the best, when he played all 17 in 2024 with Drew Petzing as his OC and Clayton Adams as the run game coordinator, the run game was extremely strong in Arizona in 2024, where they went out and won 8 games when they were supposed to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They come out and win 8 games. The run game looks amazing. The way that they're using Kyler on bootlegs and the run game and passing game is just like flawless. And he was playing quarterback at probably the highest level he's ever played quarterback, regardless of other seasons where he's had better statistical seasons. So I think that O'Connell is smart enough, obviously, to make the adjustments to do it. I don't think that he's going to have him run that sort of offense, because I think that he is smart enough to change it. But at the same time, like, it could just go bad. Like, we've seen Kyler where there's games where he looks to be like a top 10 quarterback. And it's a conversation that we were having yesterday. Like, at some point, Bo Nix is going to be a top 10 quarterback in his career. Well, maybe, but like maybe not as well. Like, Kyler's advanced stats have been very poor outside of 2024. And we watch games where he shows flashes of being great. And then other times where you're like, is Kyler Murray, does he even know what he's doing? Like, out there on the field? And there's been questions about like his leadership style and all of this stuff. And I think that like as much as I want this to go like like seamlessly and him be incredible with the Vikings and them win a ton of games, I am at pause a little bit and I want to see if it works. And I think everybody just being so quick to stamping this as like boom, like this is awesome, like this is the next, these are the next Seattle Seahawks. You're in a division with the Chicago Bears. You're in a division with the Detroit Lions. You're in the division with the Green Bay Packers. Teams who have won double-digit games every single season, and over the last 3 years, and the Lions didn't even make the playoffs last season. So this is an uphill battle, and this is going to be a really tough division no matter what. And I wonder what it looks like if Kyler's playing in Green Bay in late December, or if he's playing in Chicago in late December outside. Like we just haven't seen him do it yet and perform at a high level. And that all of that worries me. And I know that was a lot more than two things. And I just said a ton, but where are you at right now with the Kyler Murray and the Vikings relationship?
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of what you said. I think that like everybody's gut reaction is like, this is going to go so well. Like, um, O'Connell is a phenomenal head coach. He's the quarterback whisperer, all this, all that. Like, and yeah, I think that I think that he has a very good ability to get the most out of quarterbacks, but um, I'm also not fully ready to just sit here and be like, "Yep, this is just going to go. They're going to win 13 games. This is going to go perfectly. There's going to be nothing wrong." I think the excuse me. I think you mentioning the style of offense that Kyler is familiar with versus the style of offense that they run in Minnesota is going to be an adjustment. I think that that's going to take some time. Typically, Kyler Murray starts out hot. I mean, obviously, it wasn't like that last year. I think this is going to be potentially more of a slow burn if it does end up being successful. I think there's going to have to be changes that he learns in this offense that he probably hasn't had to really dial in a long time. Having the weapons around him, I think, will help. I think you can I think Justin Jefferson can bail out if you or I played quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, he's going to be Justin Jefferson, and all biggest winner. Real quick, not to interrupt you, is Justin Jefferson. He's going to have a big
100%, 100%. He's going to get a ton of targets. They've got Hawkinson. They've got the kid from Addison. Yeah, the kid from Pitt. They've got guys like they will be fine around him. They have a good offensive line. Like they will be okay. But it's just a matter of him getting used to playing in like that more of a pro style offense, West Coast offense, not necessarily like we're gonna drop back and be in shotgun for 98% of the game. Like there's gonna be some adjustments. I think it'll take some time. This is a scenario that could end up playing out really well because I think Kyler Murray still has talent. I think he's a talented guy. I think he probably has more talent than Sam Darnold did. I think that he's got more talent than any of those guys
would agree with
that the Vikings had last year. So, but there always is that little piece of me in the back of my mind that's like, there's got to be a point in time where Kevin O'Connell can't just fix any quarterback that steps in the building, right? Like,
I mean, we watched it. We watched it happen last year. Like
exactly. Like
JJ
that's
McCarthy
what concerns
stunk.
me.
Yeah.
That's the thing that concerns me is like people thought that this experiment with JJ McCarthy, it's not really fair to call it an experiment, but this situation with JJ McCarthy it was just going to end up working out because of who they had at head coach. And maybe it still could. I mean, he's got plenty of time left, but the clock's ticking if they're already bringing in another quarterback to come in and be the bridge guy for you. But yeah, I don't know. There is still a part of me that is hesitant just because there is a part of me that is hesitant about this situation. And I can't just sit here and be like, yeah, this is going to work out. Everything's going to be fine and dandy. They're going to win 2 playoff games. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. The health piece of it is concerning to me, and the style of offense is concerning to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I would love for it to work because I love Kyler so much and would love to see it work out. And I also, on the flip side of things, think that Arizona was really bad like over the last few years. And but then there's parts of me that's like Arizona wasn't that bad over the last few years because you look at their like I saw somebody the other day compare the Arizona Cardinals to the Miami Dolphins, and it's like how on God's green earth could you even compare the two? You have Marvin Harrison Jr., which obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. has a ton to prove, and no one's been more critical of Marvin Harrison Jr. than I, but he still has a top five. He's still a top five pick and still has a lot of upside. Michael Wilson was like the biggest breakout star of last season, and he looks to be like the actual real deal. And then Trey McBride is legitimately the best tight end in football. And you have Paris Johnson Jr., who's a good left tackle in the NFL. There was a lot for him to work with on this Cardinals offense, and it just looked so clinky like
Yeah.
all the time. Even back in the 2024 season when Marv really disappointed, I think some would say, compared to like what he was expected to do. And like it's just we've seen him with a really good cast of players. And like I get it. The nobody is on the level as Justin Jefferson, but the I think that like if you were to ask me right now,
I mean,
like
Trey McBride is.
I think the skill group in Arizona is like just it's just as good as the skill group in Minnesota and Arizona versus Minnesota. Like I think so, or is that crazy?
I think that's a little crazy.
Why?
I think the Minnesota skill group is definitely better.
Okay,
I think
I
Trey
guess we could.
McBride's really good, but I think that Justin Jefferson is on another level. I like Hawkinson. I like Addison, and when Addison had his moments to be like the number one guy, he played pretty well from what I remember. And I
Yeah, he
think
played.
like him
Played
and Michael. I'm sorry for blank his last name.
Wilson.
Michael Wilson probably cancel each other out. I mean, maybe I just talked myself into it. Like Trey McBride.
I think it's closer than people act like it is. I mean, even the running back room, like the running back room, their running back room is Jordan Mason and 47-year-old Aaron Jones. And I'm not saying that the running back room in Arizona is good. They have Algier, they have James Conner, they have Trey Benson. That's not a great running back room either, but it's not like
No,
Minnesota has like a stellar running back room.
oh
So
no, that running back room is middle of the table.
I think that it's closer than like what people think, like than like people like actually are acting like. I mean, both have like some pretty high tier weapons, like Trey McBride and Justin Jefferson are high tier weapons, and then
Yeah,
you look at the rest, and it's like, all right, well, if Marv can have if Marv's any good, like
yeah.
that's a better skill group than Minnesota. Like
It
it is. It's just all there is to it.
yeah,
I think
Marv.
Justin Jefferson's the best. He's the
Yeah,
best player out of everybody. But like apples to apples, like looking at it, I think that they're pretty fucking close.
yeah. I think if you get more out of Marv, then I think it's a even closer of a discussion. But I think that
The
coaching
play
has been
caller. The play, yeah.
the
The play
yeah has
caller.
is like the biggest factor in all of this. And I mean, that's why I would, if I was a Vikings fan, I would feel ultimately way more comfortable about this scenario just because of who you have calling the plays and who you have a head coach versus who Kyler Murray has had as his head coaches in his tenure.
Yeah, you're completely right. And
Yeah.
that's the difference. And that's something that we talk about every year. So obviously we'll probably end up talking about them like a ton
Yeah.
like over the next like in the summer and during the season and everything like but
I mean, this
I
is going to
want it
be
to
one of the
work.
more
It's
interesting quarterback scenarios in the NFL, I think, this season, because we'll have another year of can the Vikings pull it off with a bridge quarterback, and I think the other big piece of it too is the JJ McCarthy situation. Like, what are they going to do with him? Like, is he done?
He's gonna.
It's a multifaceted
Kyler.
quarterback situation they have here.
He's gonna sit behind Kyler. He's going to try to repair his image slightly over the next year. If he comes in and plays well, then he's good. Then whenever his image is repaired a little bit, him and his agent will seek a trade and try to continue to build up his career from there. I mean, you just don't really know what's possible. We watched what happened with Bryce Young. Bryce Young was benched 2 years ago, and he just took the Panthers to the playoffs. Sam Darnold was a perennial backup, and he just won a Super Bowl. Like, it's just like you just don't know what's possible with the quarterback position in the NFL. But I do think that the book is shut for him in Minnesota. I think they're done with him.
I have the most fitting quarterback situation for this team and JJ McCarthy. I'll give you a guess. Rams. Who do you think? No, the Colts.
Well, yeah. Possible. That's a good one. Get like the most mid white guy of all time and talk yourselves into it.
I mean, he has a lot of work to do to improve his image. Like, you go on Twitter and you just type in the number 9 and it's just all those different types of memes. Like, it takes time for those to go away. Like, I haven't seen a Will Levis meme, but he hasn't played. So there's that. Back. There is that, but it'll take some time.
Bring Will Levis back.
I actually need Will Levis in Indianapolis.
They wanted him a few years ago. Don't forget that.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man, and take